Hello. Um, Welcome to a much awaited live. Um, I've been wanting to reach out and do another energy reading for a while, but like many around me, at least here, I was sick and my son was sick, and there's just been a lot of sickness and just like knockouts that happened in the month of January. And I feel much more alive and ready to face the world this month, the beginning of February, and we just had a new moon in Aquarius at the end of January. Um, so I'm wondering also, and if you want to write in the comments, how did you feel about this past month, about January, what you thought about it, maybe like in your New Year's resolution somewhere in December, and then how you feel now when it's over. I definitely feel like there was like an excited feeling about January, thinking that New Year's resolution we're gonna do things differently, and then I definitely halfway through got knocked down by sickness and the war and the ceasefires and everything that's happening around kind of ah, like came down on me. But yeah, February feels different. It feels hopeful, and that's why I want to do a reading for myself and for you and see what is it saying about this month. This month specifically, I'm less focused today about the new moon. I feel like this month of February is the theme, the second month. There's also Valentine's Day this month. There's something about like unity, partnership, masculine, feminine, realignment, and working together. I'm definitely feeling those and just hoping to like start it off on the right foot, as they say. I'll start with a song just to get our vibes high and flowing. And this is a song that's called Aguilla De Oro, the golden eagle that opens up the gates. This is by Little Whale. That open up the gate, that open up the sky. And it's definitely the invitation to open up the gates, the sky, for something new. Águila de oro que abre los cielos, tejendo un nuevo mundo. Águila de oro que abre los cielos, tejendo un nuevo mundo. Condoncito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan todo. Condoncito tocando la cumbre de la montaña, cuyos ojos invitan todo. Ay, mi taitaya, nay na na nay 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 na. Ay, mi taitaya, nay na na nay 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 na. Curandero purificando, curando todo. Curandero poderoso, purificando, curando todo. Guías amorosas, cuidando, restaurando el equilibrio. Guías amorosas, cuidando, restaurando el equilibrio. Colibrí zumbador pintando selva con amor, con colores del universo. Colibrí zumbador pintando a selva con amor, con colores del universo. Ay, mi taitaya, nay na na nay 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 nay. Ay, mi taitaya, nay na na nay 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 nay. Condorcito ya, nay na na nay 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 nay. Aguilita ya, nay na na nay 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 nay. Hope this opened up the sky for you, calling in the energy of the condors and the eagles, calling on all the purifiers and the healers to be with us. This is a song that really helps me remember that I'm never alone. They talk about our guides in the sky, these spirit birds, these animals, and more, our higher selves that are always here to guide us, to protect us, to listen to us, to just be with us, to give us a warm, loving hug. We're always guided, we're always loved, we're never alone. And remember that everything is 51%. It's all skewed to the 51% of happening to the best scenario possible. That's like the something that I collected for my studies. I think it's more of a Japanese statement, but we have that a lot in Israel and like in the Jewish tradition as well, of like hakol tova, everything is for the better. There's this understanding that the universe, although it's here as free choice and free will and good and bad doesn't matter, we will learn from both, but it's been skewed just a little bit, 51%, for the positive, for the better. So if you do nothing, and if you don't intervene, it's most likely 51% likely that things will happen better than you thought, not worse. Unless you decide to start gearing that way, or unless, something has to happen. 51% for the better. So I'm hoping this mantra stays with you as well. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling cards for the energy. Like I said here in the beginning, I'm focusing on the energies of February. I'm also following like the gene keys a lot lately, and we just moved into gene key number 13 that really talks about listening, inner listening, and I think the art of listening, the and of empathy, listening and empathy for others. Um, yeah, so hopefully this will be a different era and a different time for us, where things happen in a more aligned, caring, loving, and considerate way for all of us. That's the prayer. You can put in the comments here anything that comes up to your mind, and also if you would like me to pull a card for you after I'm done with the general reading, I'm happy to pull a personal card. If you're here live and asking, if you're catching this on the replay, you can still write down that you want a card, and if I see it and I'm available, I will send you a private message with your own card. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm starting with a tarot deck that I love and it also scares me. That's called the Fountain. I really love it because it's a tarot deck that brings in the fifth element, which is something that I feel very strongly about bringing back to our consciousness. And we're done just talking about four elements. There are five, people, five elements, where the ether, spirit, is the missing element, is the one that we've forgotten that we are and we own, and it's that extra oomph that makes everything else possible. and shows us the connection to everything. Yeah, so the fountain has this fifth element ingrained in its tarot deck. So I will use this today. Not sure why, just intuitively feeling it. And let's start. So we're going to pull a tarot card for the energy that's alive right now. So that card is the King of Cups. Here, you can see it here. Very cool. And we're going to talk about it in relation to the other cards. So I'm also going to pull a card to see what is the energy we just stepped out of. And it's the Fool card. Okay, very interesting. So we just stepped out of the Fool, number 0. It's like the beginning of the journey. Makes a lot of sense. If we're basically beginning a new year, a new timeline, new possibilities. It's also very scary, and it feels like very empty, like the 0. Empty and yet free. Yeah. The Fool card, there we go. And we're moving it to the King of Cups, and the energy that we're moving towards is the Six of Wands. Okay, so this is the cards that wanted to come up today from the tarot, and I will explain them, but I would like to also add to them a little bit of the moon. So I'm going to add some explanatory cards from the Queen Moon Oracle on top of them, and then we'll read this together to really understand what is going on. And again, if you want your own card, you can ask for it, and you can also tell me if you want it from the tarot deck or from the oracle deck, the moon deck, whatever you feel called to. Okay, so the first card that I'm going to pull is actually the energy that we stepped out of, the Fool. What is the oracle? The oracle that came up is realization. Okay, so realization with the Fool. You see, this is like very similar to the Fool energy. So this is explaining this better to me. It's showing us how we're moving through a portal, right? Like, look, this is a keyhole, and you can see what's beyond it. And there's a little girl, I don't know if you can see it, but she's standing right at the edge of it, right? So very similar to the Fool, ready to jump off the edge of the cliff into this new adventure. And see, here we're getting a little bit more information from like this darkness, and look, this is like this new moon energy, right? It's a waxing crescent, and it's moving into something else. There's more light. There's still like very unknown. There's a lot of clouds. I could see like less ground, but the other one was all like cliffs and like scary mountains and darkness. And here it feels lighter but very airy. So that's the feeling that I feel like we also like stepped out of. Like, okay, we're ready to jump to where are we moving into? What is happening? What is this energy? Who am I? What am I here to bring to the world? Do I even need to know? Is it time to reinvent myself? So it's all these like a lot of question marks. Sometimes that could like make us maybe feel like we're ready to move into another edge, another start, but not ready to quite jump yet. That's the sensation I'm feeling. Now the King of Cups here is coming to assist. The cups is the energy of water if we're talking about elements, and it's talking about our emotional realm. And the King of Cups is like a more like stable, this masculine energy. So if you're a woman, sometimes it even means just like a strong masculine energy that can feel supportive. It's a fatherly image, but it can also be like a partner, a romantic partner that you feel very secure with. It brings in security and groundedness into this airy emotion. He's sitting at like basically like the eye of the storm or like the center of water with like his little cup, feeling unfazed by all of this energy. So it's basically saying, you got this, and kind of pulling up your masculine energy. So if you're a man or woman, doesn't matter. It's just kind of reminding you of your masculine energy of like support and groundedness. And masculine energy also has the ability to focus and have like a better vision. Like it's very focused, straightforward. It's not going all around in a confusion. So it's telling us now that we're in this like focusing of our emotion, and really owning them and seeing where it leads. Let's take an oracle to see what it also tells us. What I say, the card that showed up is focus, right? Focus, and she's also like halfway underwater. You see that? So it's very similar to the King of Cups here. Very, very similar, and even like maybe it's offsetting. This is a woman, so maybe we're being told like, okay, rise up with your feminine energy. There's a butterfly, so it's talking already about this transformation that's already occurred. Okay, if we're again looking at the Fool and the realization, like there was a threshold that we've already passed. Remember what I said at the beginning about the 51%, whether you've passed it with flying colors and full awareness of you've like passed it barely, just like coming out of a sickness, for example, that I shared I had, that's still crossing a threshold. Okay, maybe you had some upgrades, maybe you had this realization of like shifting something that you're doing or where you are, or the relationships that you're having. There was some realization that needed time to mature, and for you to like really take that leap forward. And once it has, now we're focusing, now we're owning it, and actually not dispersing our emotions, but using the emotion to inform our very focused and intentful action. Not blaming our emotions, but like working with those emotions, owning those emotions, seeing what is this telling me about where am I excited, what am I excited about, what feels good for me, what doesn't anymore, and then have like an action. Do an embodied, I'm hearing an embodied action that can happen right now. For example, like what I'm doing here with you today. Okay, so yes, the card of focusing, using the emotions, not letting yourself drown in them, but being in them, feeling them, and then like keeping the head above water, right? Or like here the eyes, the third eye specifically above water, to see beyond. Not surprising that I talked about, like I did the song about the condor and the eagle. The eagle, it teaches us, it's actually connected to, yes, the air element, and this understanding of everything is this one big blue dot. Like everything is energy, it's all one. And seeing that bigger picture, the wider picture, even if something bad happens, with the eagle energy, with that focusing, you can understand, wait, but why did this need to happen, and what is just happening from inertia, from like, gravity. I feel like things fall, kingdoms fall, empires fall, things happen. You fall into sickness, that's okay, but can we look above it? What was it clearing? What really needs to go and clear? And has it really been cleared? Because maybe you felt connected and ready to like take up this fresh step, right? The Fool. But something else was still lingering that needed to be cleared, and sometimes you need to clear it, consciously, and sometimes you just need to release and allow and let go, and allow for all that residue to clear before you can focus, right? If the water is all like murky, you can't really focus and see beyond. Here there's like a clearer water. Okay, so it needed to clear. And lastly, what we're moving into, the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is a card of like a lot of action, and like doing. So again, we're connected, and it's still like you're saying there's a masculine energy of doing. So feminine is being, masculine is doing. It doesn't mean you're a male or female here, but the masculine of doing. So there's an action. There's an action and there's a building. The Six of Wands is like you're building. See, this one is doing acrobatics, so there might be some challenges that are happening also that you're ready for. It's an obstacle course. This is what you were made for. This is what you're good at. So it's going through this obstacle course that allows you to exercise your mind with the wands. We're again like with more air energy, and really mental energy. So maybe there's some hoops to jump through with your mind, but that's actually training you. So that's what the Six of Wands is saying. And let's take another oracle to understand that. There we go. So the oracle that connects to it is accessing. Okay, so there's something that we are reaching out for, that we're accessing. See, again, there's that vision and focus and looking farther into the future. There's something that is available to you now after the clearing that you can access and own and then work with, do something with it. Maybe you thought you could and wanted to do more last month, but it wasn't time yet. It just felt like it, but last month there was something that like needed to clear more first. Especially even actions and things that you thought you needed to do that month that actually you didn't. It connected to like an old paradigm. There's an opportunity for a completely new chapter here for the ones who are ready and willing. And now we're moving into the energy of accessing it and going through those hoops. So remember that. Remember, especially if there's like some challenges, remember that these are actually, it's part of that obstacle course. So I'm sending you a message to think about, well, what is this obstacle course for me? How does it look like? And can you actually enjoy it? You know, enjoy the jump, enjoy the challenge. Okay, the right challenge is the one that you can pass, but it still makes you, go a bit above what you thought, what is easy, right? You have to still jump a bit. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting, like this obstacle course. I want to pull one last card, that's like the overall energy and maybe a reminder of what's to come. And yeah, so number 33, which is a master number, came up. Um, so this is a flower moon, a full moon. So I think this is telling me like what are we moving towards in the full moon coming up in February. There's a blossoming. There's a blossoming happening. Okay, so this means that um, a new flower, is coming. There's a feeling really, we're still in winter, but here, at least in Israel, there's a feeling that's like winter is pretty much done and we're moving into spring. So that's like the feeling, like moving into spring. You've had a tough winter. It's been a lot. It's been a lot on your heart and on your mind and on your body. But now, after the clearing, there is the opportunity for new blooms. Okay, for it's like this diamond in the rough, like when like the diamond comes from like the roughest places. But then it's time for it to be revealed. So there's something that's ready to be revealed that's been in the making for a long time, as a little bud, and it just wasn't ready yet. You can't just like force it to open, but we're moving towards a blossoming. So there's also a reminder of just natural time and cycles, not forcing anything, really allowing things to come in their own time. And they are. And they are. And every setback, remember, this is either an obstacle to help train you and push you and see what is this power, this ability that you have been shying away from. So maybe that, or maybe there's some more residue, some more clearing that needs to happen. Um, yeah, but it's 51% for the better, guys. That's the message I want to leave you with today. Thank you, Ravaya. Okay, so I hope to see you again. Maybe in the full moon, I'll do something. If not next month, I'll try to be more consistent. Tell me here in the comments if you like these energy updates. Uh, yeah, what do you like about it? How does it help you? Thank you so much. I love you all and have a beautiful week.